Hello and welcome back to Of Land and Leaf. My name is Andrea and I garden in a community garden plot about 15 minutes away from my house. Today I am at the garden because I wanted to transplant some cucumber. I have 3 cucumber growing in a 10-gallon grow bag and I want to take 2 of them out. And since I'm here and it's the end of the month, I figured why not take you along on a May garden tour. So let me show you what's been happening in the garden. A lot happening in the month of May. Can't wait to show you. So let's start on the container side of my garden. It's really dry right now, but I will water after I get some things done. I just want to show you what's been happening. Over here, you will see that I've taken the slips off of my 2 sweet potatoes and planted them in this raised garden bed. Last year they were in ground about right here, but I try to move things around in the garden and not plant in the same space every season or every other season. So I'm going to try them in here this season. You can, if you step over here, you'll see that I have these cucumbers, and these are what I'm transplanting today, but I have 1, 2, 3 cucumbers here and some beans. And these are, you know, the bean grow bags that I've been learning. I have been learning about growing beans in containers. So I have different beans and at different stages in these grow bags. I planted like 5 beets and I think I'm gonna get 1 over here, which is fine. Again, I'm learning. Over here, let's start here. The same sweet potatoes, I just keep them in the ground, and I'll get some more slips, and in about 2 months I will start another sweet potato patch so that when these come out, I still have some more sweet potatoes that are coming. Here's some comfrey that is just doing amazing. This looked dead, I believe, in like the last video or the video before that. And I have some, I think they're called Gladys bulbs that I planted in here because I didn't know this was going to get this big. I'm going to move those. I forget the name of the herb that this is, but it's doing really well. I was told to just kind of plant it and leave it, treat it like a succulent. And so that's what I've been doing, and it's just doing really well on its own. I don't water it the same way I water everything else. Here's some Malabar spinach, which should trellis. I just planted this not too long ago. I think in the last video, you'll see that I planted this. A friend of mine gave it to me. She said it needs a lot of water, so I got to figure out how to keep some water over here for this. And then over here are my herbs. I have rosemary and thyme growing here. And I'm just trying to keep some flowers so that I can have pollinators. So there are a couple flowers over there. So if we look back, those are the beans. This is the trellis that I'm hoping the cucumber will grow on. And then over here is more Malabar spinach. Again, just planted this, so it's still recovering from shock, but I think it's going to be just fine. My potatoes are in here, and I have red potatoes in both bags. I planted, I think 2 over here, 3 over here, and 2 here, and it looks like it's only like, yeah, the 3 are growing, but only 1 I'm seeing over here, which is fine. And then these are white and yellow tomatoes right here. Okay, let's go over to the edge of the garden. We have things blossoming, blooming, germinating. Let me grab my garden journal so I can give you some details here. Okay, so over here we see what is sprouting. I planted 2 okra plants in this 10-gallon grow bag and 2 okra plants here as well. I believe these are the red okra. I didn't label them. And these are the green okra over here. And I'm just saying that because I see like a little hint of red in here. And I planted these 5/23, and today is 5/30. So they're doing really good. Over here is a jalapeno pepper. I planted 2 seeds. I don't see anything happening yet. And over here is bell pepper, and I planted 2 seeds, and I don't see anything happening yet. So here's my little workstation, but next to the workstation, what you see are 3 watermelon plants. that are coming up. And these were watermelon that I grew last year. I grew them from a plant that I purchased at Home Depot, I believe, and they were really good seeded watermelon, and I wanted to make sure I had some for this year. So I kept some of the seeds, and I was so excited to see that I did the right thing with the seeds and that they are growing back. Back here, we have some zinnia that are just volunteers. I did not plant them there. They were over here last year, and they expanded. I did not mean to have them intermixed with my onions, but here they are, and I'm letting them stay here. And all of this in the back are red onions. So tons of red onions. Then if I back up a little bit, you see the towers, which were going to be strawberry towers, and then we're going to be herb towers, and now I'm just kind of seeing what will grow. So I have strawberries, but I've only been able to get like 1 or 2 strawberries off of here. I have some chime. This is marigold, bush bean, a couple more strawberries, and some beets in here. And then over here, oregano, a few more strawberries. See, like I have 1 or 2 here and there, but just not a bunch at one time. That's okay. And here's some spinach. And there are a couple beans. I planted some mint the other day, so we'll see if that comes up. And then back over here, we have lettuce. I planted it on this side because this side does not get as much sun as the front of the tower. Working our way over here is the nasturtium that I planted. Every single nasturtium seed germinated. I left this whole patch for peppers, and I think I have 2 peppers. I planted like 6. I think I have 2 that are coming. The rest of this is weeds. I'm gonna give it a little bit longer, and then this, like I said, may become my sweet potato patch in a couple months. This is just a cabbage plant that is left over from my fall winter garden. I just left it there as like a trap plant so that bugs and slugs and things could eat on that and hopefully not eat from the rest of my garden. I wanted to show you this. This is a carrot. These were carrots that I planted like back in November that did nothing, and then all of a sudden they start giving me leaves. I'm just leaving them there. I'm not really planning to harvest carrots, but we'll see. My blueberry, actually blackberry, is growing a whole lot, but I'll show you that in a minute. So I want to just keep going on this side of the garden. So the onions, the nasturtium, peppers, and then we have corn. Remember the corn that I showed you? It's doing really, really well. Should have a good amount of corn. Really excited about that. I came in the other day and put in 2 pole beans just the other day. So hopefully by the time I have another video, you'll be able to see some pole beans trellising this corn. I want to make good use of the space because I had one that just didn't germinate. So I decided to use that space for pole beans. But there's the corn coming up nicely. Here's garlic that will be coming out soon. It's looking pretty pitiful, but I pulled a couple of them and they're so small. I'm just trying to keep them in the ground a little bit longer. And then we have some lettuce and spinach remaining in the garden. Over here, we have beans. I'm gonna actually be planting some more beans in here. And my black zucchini, it is just huge. So proud of it. I'm trying to protect it and make sure that it doesn't get too eaten up. So I'm watching it. Then against this trellis, I planted some peas. I planted 4 seeds and all 4 seeds germinated. So I'm hoping that they will trellis this piece here. Okay, over here is what I like to call Tomato Alley. I'm trying to make sure you can see with all the shadows. It's a really bright day out. So this is the heirloom tomato that I got from the store and saved the seeds. And I had like 10 seedlings and only 1 plant as a result of that. So I'm hoping to get a bunch of fruit so that I can save more seeds, because the tomato was really, really good. Then next to it is a cherry tomato that I got for free, that someone just gave me here in the garden. So hoping that that does well. And then over here is a tomato that I rescued. It was being thrown away and I rescued it. It has a little bit of yellowing, so I need to come in here and trim and give this a little bit of fertilizer today. Next, if you look really closely, is my purple basil. So excited about that purple basil coming up, hoping to get a lot more of it. And this spot is reserved for Roma tomatoes that I planted 2 seeds. I haven't seen anything yet, but I'm hoping that they come up. Of course, I have more garlic, and then my other blackberry. And look at this. Am I seeing fruit coming on my lemon? I will be so excited if my Meyer lemon gives me fruit. I just bought that off of Facebook Marketplace this year, so not sure what that's going to do, but it does look like it's going to give me some fruit, so I'll be watching that. And I should get tons of blackberries from this blackberry. Coming back this way, just wanted to show you, I think I mentioned that there are beans in here. I can't remember, so so let me just show you. I planted 2 summer squash, 2 yellow squash, and 3 patty pan squash, and all of them are growing really well. I'm gonna fill this space up in the middle with beans. The squash gets pretty big, so I don't want to put a whole lot here, but I do have some room, so I'm going to put some beans here, and I'm kind of just succession planting the beans so that I have beans coming. I'm trying this trick where I surround the squash with crushed eggshells to discourage the squash borers. Don't know if that'll work, but I'm going to try and see. Something has eaten this bean down to the nub, so there's something in here eating. I'm just trying to stay on top of it. I have an organic garden, so you know, things are going to want to eat the same way I want to eat. And then over here is my pole beans, and you see I have a pole bean that is deciding to trellis, so I'm super excited. I think I have 2 or maybe 3 beans in here, and that is supposed to be something called a spoon tomato. It is growing really slowly, but I'm letting it do its thing, and then that's just a marigold. So again, things are a little dry. Believe it or not, I was just out here 2 days ago and watered, but you have to stay up on the watering here in Georgia. The last thing I want to show you is my additional watermelon, sugar baby watermelon. I'm going to try to grow 2 in this 10-gallon grow bag, and hopefully they will trellis this arch as well. So I'm going to put some cucumber over here next to this. The cucumber will trellis this way, the watermelon will trellis this way, and then the beans will trellis over here, and I'll come up with something else for this spot. All right, the sun is going down and it's time for me to pack it up. I'm ending May, and I'm just elated at all of the growth in the garden. If you've been with me from the beginning, you know it was not pretty in the beginning, and I just took my time. I just did a little bit at a time, and I paced myself, and I added things a little bit at a time, and already it's making me so happy. And I'm not even harvesting daily yet, so when I am harvesting daily, I'm really going to be happy. I'm looking at a beautiful blue jay that's in the garden. But let me just show you as we wrap up the month of May. Happy gardening. Enjoy your garden. Start. If you haven't started, start. It's not too late to start. It's not too early to start. pick up a book, Google, just start with one thing. Let's show you. Happy gardening.